Afternoon to you, our esteemed viewers. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Community Show. This week, we are going to be discussing business, and the business that we're going to be discussing, we are discussing doing business amidst the economic crisis in Uganda. And joining me to discuss this very interesting topic amidst the challenges that our business and women are facing in the industry, I am joined by the right people to discuss this matter. So allow me to introduce my panelists today who are going to help us dissect the issue that we are discussing tonight. So joining me in tonight's discussion, I'm joined by a gentleman by the name Mr. Twinomugisha Enoch. Mr. Twinomugisha, aka Sir Enoch, he's an MC and he's a master of ceremony and a marketeer. He's also a real estate at Amka International Real Estate. Thank you very much, Sir Enoch, for honoring our invitation and joining our conversation. Right next to Mr. Enoch, I'm joined by a lady by the names of Amuge Ritah Nowel. Amuge Ritah Nowel, she's a marketing and reservation. She works as a marketing and reservation at City Royal Resort Hotel. She's going to help us dissect tonight's issue, particularly maybe in the areas of hotel section. Right next to Miss Ritah Nowel, I am joined by Miss Babirye Namutebi Imleda. Miss Babirye Namutebi Imleda, she's going to give us where she works and more info about herself. And last but not least, I'm joined by Miss Champire Grace. Miss Champire Grace, she's a director and family events at in Imbara. So there are our panelists tonight, and we're looking for a wonderful discussion. But right ahead, before we go into the discussion, I'm going to quickly let the panelists introduce themselves and possibly tell us what I've left out in the introduction on their profiles, and we can kickstart the conversation. I'll begin with you, Mr. Enoch. Sir Enoch, kindly unmute and introduce yourself and possibly say hello to our esteemed viewers. Sir Enoch.
All right, good afternoon, viewers. As you've heard, I'm called Sir Enoch, and I'm happy to be here. And I know we are going to discuss a lot that will help us through. You are welcome. I am an investor in real estate here in Barra City, and I'm also an MC in functions, but I also am a marketeer. In case you have anything to advertise online, I can help you out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're looking forward to dissecting your skills as well and telling us how COVID-19 and other economic issues have affected business down there in Imbara. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. Let's have Miss Babirye Namutebi Imleda. Kindly unmute, turn on your video if it's possible. Introduce yourself and let the viewers know who you are.
Good afternoon. My name is Babirye Namutebi Imleda. I'm a co-founder, stroke director, Darraine Stitch all outfits, casual. Darraine stitches out of different kinds of material, party, casual. Yes, our company has grown over the years. We have a stable online presence. I must say that has helped us grow our sales. Yeah, and we have a social impact. We are social entrepreneurs, and we look forward to growing our business to a bigger business.
Right. Thank you very much.
We're
looking forward to having a very wonderful discussion with you today. Let's have Miss Ritah. Ritah, kindly unmute and introduce yourself.
Hello, good afternoon, viewers. My name is.
All right, let's just begin the conversation. I'll start with you, Sir Enoch. Sir Enoch, kindly unmute and turn on your camera. You are a real estate investor with Amka International Real Estate, but also an MC and marketeer. Now, in your field of work, how has it been over the years? You know, we are just recovering from the pandemic, traversed the entire world and also affected us greatly here in Uganda. Now, before we start the conversation and I get into the gist of tonight's topic, how has it been for the real estate business, but also has it been for in terms of being an MC, going out to events among others? Has it been that easy, or it has been complicated? Sir Enoch.
All right, thank you very much. I'll maybe first give a little background of how I came into this business, because it's not a long time since I started. I actually started when COVID came in to start investing in land and marketing it, and being serious on this emceeing part of it. I worked with NGOs that work with children for 12 years. And of course, you know what happened during that season when COVID came in. I worked with NGOs 12 years with 2 companies. I worked with one of them, I worked for 8 years, and another last one, I worked for it for only 2 years. During that time, I learned one thing out of these NGOs. You are given a very big rank that sounds nice, that looks nice. If I told you my title, would be like, hey man, this guy had made it project director, regional coordinator, you know, those big things, national director. They were sounding so perfect. Like, of course, I would go for a party and you make sure I sit in front because wait. Regional coordinator, what are you talking about? But getting down to your pay, to your salary, to your allowances, you realize, hey, man, this thing is about posing around. Says, yeah, the rank is big, but the payment is just cartoon. So when COVID came in and the ranks were no more, the titles were no more, the funds cut, there's no money coming in, I started thinking bigger and out of the box, which wasn't nice, because I needed to think out of the box before. But I started thinking out of the box when the crisis came in. So I remember that I used to be an MC in some parties for my friends just, and for free, maybe for like a small allowance, 200, 100,000 UGX. But this time, I just said, you know what, I need to start this in a different style. So because I was from that process of being a boss, then to now getting to really social life, I dived into TikTok. Very many people know me from TikTok, by the way. I have very big followers on TikTok. I joke a lot. So I said, why did I start joking, by the way? I just picked my phone and I started joking. And from there, people got to know me. And finally, I am here. I am a very serious MC. I will not call me for your party on a weekend when you don't have money. When you don't have money, I talk about millions. If it is not a I might not show up for your party. Then something to do with investment. I also had friends who had already started just after COVID, as it was getting to clear. They had started a real estate of buying and selling land here in Barra City. And then they said, you man, you're shining on internet. Why don't you come and work with us? I said, it's okay. But nowadays, I no longer need employment. The only thing I can do is to work with you when I'm also investing with you. They said, that is very fine. We are going to tell you how, and we start from there, as long as you're ready to advertise our estate. So I came in to work with them in real estate. I had my few plots that I had bought, only three, by the way. Then later on, they said, you know what, you need to buy a cheap junk of land, and then cut it in 2 pieces, in 2 plots, and then you start from there. For us, we're advertising sales plots in town, but yours also can be there, which is out in the outskirts of town. So that's how I started investing more in real estate, and meanwhile, it's doing well, most especially here in Barra City. If you don't have a plot of land in Barra City, in days to come, you will struggle. And then here I am. I just dive on internet, tell people, you guys, land is here. And the next thing, they're in my inbox. And then people realize I'm good at marketing. This life can turn around, you guys. Then people come through and tell me, please help us develop an advert, help us advertise this, help us to talk about my product. And that's how I do my business these days. Maybe to get to the point that you wanted me to talk about, the business is not easy, most especially here in Uganda. It is not easy at all. First of all, we have to first look at how Uganda is running its government. Things are not easy. You need to work beyond what you're thinking you're working. Looking at our education, I always joke with people that you remember what they used to teach us in primary, that we draw parts of a cockroach then we would draw it. One day the teacher punished me that I drew a small cockroach on the paper. He wanted me to draw a big cockroach and put the wings, the thorax, the abdomen, you know, all those parts. So now I'll be here thinking, why was I struggling to draw a cockroach? If I had studied something like communication, it would have helped me now. For now, let me just say that I may follow the conversation as you asked me. I will be answering. Thank you very much for listening in.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sir Enoch. You clearly articulate to us your issues of how you started. And it seems for you, COVID-19 was a blessing in disguise. It made you possibly realize a part of yourself that you possibly hadn't paid attention to it. So we shall get to that as well. But you highlight a key challenge that we face in this country, which is our education system, that trains us, from the other example of use of a cockroach, of drawing a cockroach, that trains us so many things that possibly won't help us in our career path. Now, that is a challenge that you highlight, which I'll get back to you in terms of how do you think education is a challenge and why is education at the moment a challenge? I'll come to you with that question later on. But right now, let me get back to Ritah. If you're there, kindly tell us, you are into hotel, you're into doing hotel business, and at the moment you do marketing with City Royal Resort Hotel. Now, what challenges are being faced in the hotel industry? Maybe as you introduce yourself, please.
Good afternoon. I'm from Reservation at City Royal Resort Hotel. One of the challenges affecting hotel.
Seems our colleague Ritah is having technical issues, but I'll get back to you. My question to you is quite simple. You are into the fashion industry, and you know that during COVID or after COVID, businesses, most of them went online. And it has been a challenge because oftentimes people would go so much to shops, but right now things have slightly changed. So what challenges are you facing with the fashion industry?
Yes, thank you, sir. I must say, it was really hard thing, especially for the fashion industry during COVID. For example, how we operate, we always have to come to town, buy materials, then take them back to the workshop. So when COVID set in, it showed us that we needed to have an online good presence. So we actually, for instance, for our case, we had two shops, one in town and one in Seta. So when COVID set in, we couldn't go to the shops, so we closed the shops. So we had to make sure we join online to continue working. We had to have orders online. It was a big challenge in the beginning on how to deal with online customers, but I must say COVID was a blessing in disguise. We were able to start working online so that we don't base on the walk-in customers and the customers around your area or around the shop. Yes, so we're able to maybe thank COVID for that. And the challenges we've gotten after the COVID period is I could say we got short of supply of the materials because most materials were coming from China. Now that most business people could not go to China to bring in the materials, and even most of them were got to URA because of the high taxes. So we got high prices in the materials. Then the inaccessibility, we couldn't access some materials due to COVID because some of the business people could not go to China to bring them. Then obviously we had to make losses due to the general loss in income. Almost everyone didn't have money, so people defaulted, clients didn't pay what they were supposed to pay, and we had to be lenient. Obviously, they will tell you like the other people, but it's COVID, we are all not working. Yes, so I must say COVID was really a bad thing for business in the country at large, but it was also an eye-opener. For instance, for our case, we were able to close all our physical shops and started working fully at the workshop. So now we just work at the workshop and deliver around the whole country. So yeah, when life gives you lemons, you give it you make the juice out of the lemons. So COVID was bad, but as much as it was bad, we were also able to get some lessons from it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. When life gives you lemon, you definitely have to make lemonade out of it. Perfect. Ritah, I hope your reception is okay right now. Kindly free and make your submission, your opening statement, and how it is in the hotel industry, the challenges that you guys are facing.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
Better. It's better. Yeah, it's better.
Yes, as I was saying, I'm Ritah Amuge Nowel. I'm a marketeer and reservation personnel at City Royal Resort Hotel. Going back to your question, the challenges affecting the hotel industry. Basically, there are so many, but let me build on the taxes. The taxes in this economy are really, really a bottleneck to the hotel industry. And remember, these taxes, irrespective of the business coming in, they are constant. They really have to be there. Give an example: property tax. You have to pay the taxes, but even if the business is not coming, you get. So you have to see a way through of how you get those through that. Another thing, maybe I would say that interest rates are really high. Say if you are getting a loan to top up and build up the business and maybe invest in the marketing, invest in the equipment that are needed to be used in the hotel. In this economy, people like very, very nice things. You have to produce good quality, but also at a cost, and also see how to manage the costs you get and provide at a favorable cost, but also give out the quality and bring out some output for yourself. Yeah, basically I can start with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ritah. I like with you. You talk about high taxes that is affecting the hotel industry right now. So how is it, how grave is the issue of taxes and how entrenched is it? Does it later on translate to the high costs of services that you offer when people want to come and use your services?
Yeah, basically all that you have to, look when you're providing these services, you have to look at how much you put in to provide these good quality services, you get? So you have to count all that in the costs that you're going to incur, in the prices you're going to give to the masses when they come to use your services. So it's also an effect of the high rates that sometimes we have, but you also have to fit in the disposable income available for people to spend. You get, you may put price very high and no one can consume your services. So you have to fit in somewhere there.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'll get back to you and explain to us further, apart from taxes, what are the challenges is the hotel industry facing amidst this economic crisis that we're facing as a country. Sir Enoch, as you unmute and turn on your camera, you earlier on mentioned that there's a challenge with doing business in this country today, amidst this economic crisis that we're facing. That we have an education system that is focused on creating job seekers rather than job creators. If our education system is focused on creating job seekers rather than job creators, how is education a challenge in doing business amidst economic crisis? Sir Enoch.
Thank you very much. I actually wanted to say, with the education system here in Uganda, it's very interesting. I know most of us, we've gone through school and we know what we studied and we know our courses. So really, I don't have much to discuss on education, but I want just to say that it's so interesting how you go to a school and
Sir Enoch.
yes, I'm back. They were putting sugar in my tea.
Okay.
Well, I was just saying, our education, I was actually reading newspapers where I found most of the guys that have graduated, more than 1,200 students study on loans, government loan, and then after school, they don't have jobs. You can imagine. So I'd be thinking, which courses do they study? And how are they going to pay that money? Getting back to our primary schools, during our days when we used to study, we used to have co-curricular activities. Are they still there? Music and drama, sports. We used to do debates, the ones that would be helping me now to be the best MC in the world. Music, there's a lot of money in music. You see how someone just comes in with a funny song, but it goes everywhere and is just there making money. They are no longer there in our primary schools. Even in secondary schools, I don't remember hearing any competition at national level or at any level trying to help these guys come out with those talents out. What they do, like how I said, is to study the parts of a cockroach, and the next time is to study a skeleton, and the next day you will graduate. You have your degree in business administration. You can't even do daddies. You can't prepare daddies and pack them and put them on market. The only thing you're waiting for is just to sit and throw papers here and there.
Sir Enoch.
Yes, please.
Yeah, as you conclude on the point of education, I want to ask you a more direct question on the aspect of the real estate business. You are yourself an investor with Amuge International Real Estate, and is the business just a smooth trajectory of everything is moving on fine, or also challenges as well that you're facing in the real estate business?
Yeah, of course, on real estate, we have to understand that real estate needs money. Even the smallest piece of land, you require enough money. So sometimes you find guys in employment, it is really hard for them to gather that money and buy a plot of land at 5 million. Because if you're earning 600,000, you'll need to save. You'll need to save enough money to make sure you buy a plot of land. But what we do here at real estate, it's just because land appreciates every single moment. I buy a plot of land and I put it back on market. If you don't buy it, every single hour that passes, I'm increasing price. This is 2023, you didn't buy it. 2024, you won't find it on the same price. I'll just leave it there. But remember, as the investors, we also have other people they call brokers that are inside, they're looking for customers. But the good thing is with real estate, if you want to invest in real estate, just get one plot of land like this, 50 by 100 at 15 million, and just keep quiet, silence. Just know you'll make money in days to come, in years to come, in time to come. And that land can even help your family. So land is just a good way to go. And we also allow our customers to pay in installments. That's also a good thing with us. Starting a company, we're not like an individual person who is saying, I'm selling my one plot of land. No, being an estate, we make sure at least we first get the money that we have put in and maybe wait for interest at any time. So we make sure you pay half of the money and then the installments will be coming in at your own point. Because you don't have an agreement, you work hard to make sure you get your final agreement and your title for your land. And that's how the real estate is doing these days.
Okay, my final question to you, Sir Enoch. You mentioned that you allow people to make payments in installments. Don't you possibly face a challenge? Because at the moment, many people do not have money. Don't you then face challenges of possibly bad debtors who do not pay what they owe the company? And does it in one way affect the business?
Very true, very true. Actually, you find most of our interest are in debts. People are holding the money, they are not paying, and you're waiting on them. They're not bringing any installment. By the time you make a call, they tell next month. By the time you make a call, next month. But you see, with real estate, the advantage is on the agreement that you sign, you say, when you fail to pay in a certain period of time, we take our land back, you receive your money back without any interest in that money. And at the end of the day, now we bring the money, the land back on market. That's the challenge we are facing. Another challenge, of course, land is land. If we talk about land in Uganda, you know what it means, land grabbing. Sometimes you buy an old estate and it has a fake title. Even when you check, at the end of the day, you find some other people building in it and you ask yourself, and they tell you, man, is some serious guy. So go slow. And you find we're in courts of law, chasing the other estate to get cleared. We are here chasing these community people who are saying you can't sell this land. We are here fighting with the families themselves. They are fighting themselves that how did you sell this land when we did consent? You first bring the land back. We sit as a family. Those family issues are also there. Of course, there are very, very many challenges in real estate.
Thank you. That has been a wonderful submission. You talk about challenges to do with land justice issues, that you have land wrangles, you have the court issues, among others. You talk about bad debtors. I see we are already facing a huge economic crisis as a country. So when bad debtors come into the scene, I definitely understand where they're coming from. But thank you very much, Sir Enoch. I would like to engage at the moment Imleda. Imleda, in the fashion industry, definitely we know that when at the moment people do not have monies in their pockets. And you mentioned that in your introduction that you have scaled and moved into doing online business. Hasn't it somehow been very challenging by the fact that the internet costs are high, or at times maybe some customers who are coming in do not maybe fulfill their pledges to the orders that they've made? Just explain to us into detail the other challenges that are facing your business in the industry. Imleda.
Venture to online business, obviously it was new and it came with its other challenges. For instance, like you said, yes, most people are struggling financially, but when it comes to the clothing sector, most of the time, it is a need. Someone will order for a dress or a shirt when they need it. So the advantage is most of the time they pay, but due to online, sometimes since they are supposed to give a down payment of 50% and clear a delivery, some of them can say, I'll send in the balance, and then they don't send. But then it goes back to us as business owners. You have to have principles stand on your 2 feet and say we can deliver without full payment. Yes, that has helped us to at least reduce on the defaulting clients. Then the costs of the internet, I must say, it is not as bad as, obviously it is bad first of all, for the internet part, the costs are high. For example, for us, we started basically on Facebook, and we were doing very well on Facebook. But when Facebook was locked in Uganda, I must say it is the biggest challenge online people ever faced. Facebook was blocked in Uganda, so anyone cannot just access Facebook unless they have logged in onto their don't actually not familiar with VPN. So the clients on Facebook actually reduced, the outreach on Facebook reduced, yet it was the biggest social media at that time. But fortunately, other social media platforms came up like TikTok, Instagram. So we are adjusting to the other social media platforms. So we were affected in a way that after having built a big online presence on Facebook, then it was shut down in Uganda. So we have to build other presences and other social, having a bigger challenge of building a bigger following on all the social media platforms now. Like before, we were actually comfortable with Facebook. We could make all the money on Facebook, yeah, but TikTok and so on. And for the cost, you can't compare it to the cost of rent. I feel like if the entrepreneurs there who want to begin, my advice would be begin have a big online presence. Because truth is, having an online with finances, you would rather pay, for example, internet of 50,000 per month than parent of 500. Then, for example, for us who are in town, your parent of 500, then you pay garbage collection, electricity. You could have one light in the shop that is 150. Then you pay income tax, then you pay KCCA. Yeah, it is a bit more expensive than having an online presence. As long as you put the policies for your business, you could reduce the losses if you are very dedicated to your policies and you follow them. Yes, so the challenge is still there for the defaulting clients, but we are overcoming it by being true to our policies. We don't deliver unless a customer has cleared. And given the fact that most online customers are not known, you don't know them physically. Someone will just call you, they put in their order. So you just have to make sure that you be true to your policies, be straightforward. And even when you are online, you have to put out the prices there for everyone to know the prices of your outfits and whatever you're selling. In that way, a customer will come when they know what is, when they expect what, when they know the price. So it is easier to deal with a client who actually knows what they want and what price. Yes, in that way you're reducing the challenge of if the challenge of not knowing what they are expecting or the price, then in the end they would want the discounts, then which discounts would cause problems. Yeah, so I think all entrepreneurs out there have to be straightforward in whatever they do to avoid the challenges that come with the
All right, thank you very
online
much.
Business.
Yeah, thank you very much, Imleda. It's true that very sad that when Facebook was closed for approximately 2 years, it affected your business, and it has been a very huge challenge by the fact that your business has scaled online presence, and that's a challenge. But at the moment, I also know you could possibly be facing costs related to internet. Internet is very expensive. Maybe later on you'll come and address that issue as we move to the next aspect of the conversation about way forward on how we can possibly improve, address the challenges that we're highlighting. But before we go to how we can address these challenges, let me have Ritah. Ritah, as you unmute and possibly turn on your camera, earlier on you talked about tax, and that's a challenge you highlighted. And apart from taxes, high taxes and property tax among others, what is another huge challenge that is greatly affecting the hotel sector or industry? All right, looks like we have lost Ritah. Let me get to you, Enoch. Enoch, right now we're shifting gears and we're going to take the conversation to way forward. We highlight a number of challenges, and it is very imperative that when we talk about these challenges, we also talk about how best we can go about these challenges and scale our businesses further. So amidst all these economic crises and challenges that we talk about today, Enoch, you mentioned that in your business at the moment, you are facing issues to do with high administration costs, that you have brokers to pay, you have, all these costs to clear, among others. Then you talk about bad debtors, you talk about land issues that court. how best can you in your industry and people who are doing real estate business address that challenge?
All right, thank you very much. I am here to remind you that in the next few minutes, I'm supposed to report at the reception, being a Friday, business also. But I wanted to say with real estate, of course, the challenges are so many. Some are even political. But the only thing we encourage the rest of the people outside there, start. And if you've started, keep on. Do not just give up. Things will come through, people will buy land, and the brokers will come through and bring a customer, and at the end of the day, they will take a bigger interest than you, the owner of the estate or of the plot. But if you don't do such things, you won't do business. You allow other people to eat some money, and you also benefit from somewhere. And to do with administration, with land, we let it be in air. Apart from people at office who sit front desk and maybe someone who does graphics and the one running the social media accounts, which I do most of the times, there's no much more expenses that you should put in. As long as you have an estate, let it be advertised and allow people outside there to also participate freely without any agreement. Post a catalog on your status. If a customer is interested, let the customer come at office, buy land, give that person some chai. Of course, you have to give him something, because if you start bringing in the memorandum of understanding of, if you say I'll give you this, if you say I'll give you this much, it will be a little bit harder for you. Let people be free, let them bring the customer, and at the end of the day, be the one to decide and say, on this plot, this is the much I'm giving you. I'm giving you maybe 500,000 because of the great work you are doing. Do not employ serious people. Those ones will disrupt the business at the end of the day. With real estate, that's what I can do. That's what I can say. And another thing is, the last one I can say, with real estate, we don't want everyone to know that we are selling land. It is serious business that you need to introduce in corporate circles. Most especially these ones in town. If you want to sell your plot that is around Nakasero, here in Kampala, you don't look for any other person. You have to look for bigger guys that will go for it. And here in Barra City, we also look for serious people, the bankers, the teachers. The teachers have money these days, and they're seriously investing. Those are the people that we look for, the investors that will help us to run our business. That's all I just wanted to say about real estate.
Thank you very much, Enoch. Ritah, your network is now stable. Kindly answer the question I earlier asked, the other challenges that are affecting the hotel industry. And then as you answer that, way forward, what do you think the hotel industry needs to do, and how can possibly government respond to ensure that there is a business for you guys amidst this economic crisis? Ritah?
Oh, thank you so much. Sorry about that. As I was saying, just as any other business, the hotel industry was also greatly affected by COVID-19 in a way that you saw most entities. In hotel business, we also have the conferencing side. So most entities stopped hosting conferences. People from the abroad stopped coming in to have spend nights here. A number of weddings stopped happening, like the big number, the big sizes of about 400 people. Most people are having 50, and this one you can hold. Some people have large compounds and you can hold them in their compounds. So that greatly affected us. That business greatly went down. On the way forward, I think government should now let loose on the conference base. So since after COVID, that cut down the costs of conferencing and online meetings. But to keep us in business, we are still Ugandans and part of this country, and we still need to keep up and be around. So they can still add on, and we can follow the SOPs. Now that COVID has gone, we can still follow the SOPs to prevent another wave. You get? Yeah, and then another thing the hotels can do is build on the online market. Right now, there's stiff competition everywhere. You see there is a hotel, there is a motel, there is a guest what, there is a restaurant offering literally almost the same similar services. So hotels build on the Onen market is the major something in this moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ritah, for that. And it's very important that the hotels at the moment should also engage in they should engage in online marketing and do all that to help scale them. I understand there is stiff competition, but competition is good. Competition is very good. So that means you should give the best of the best that you have. Imleda, you earlier on mentioned a number of challenges that are facing the fashion industry. You mentioned challenges relating to there was short supply as a result of COVID. You mentioned things to do with high prices on material. You mentioned that the closure of Facebook greatly affected your online presence. Now you had to scale into other social media avenues like TikTok, like Instagram, among others. But at the moment, Facebook is open. Are you now moving back to Facebook, or you're making it grand and doing all over all the social media handles that there is? But as you address that as well, way forward, what do you think people in the fashion industry should embrace and should do to address the challenges that you mentioned amidst the crisis that we're facing economically as a country?
Yes, thank you. About going back to Facebook, right now we are supposed to venture on all the social media platforms. I think that is the way to go. Yeah, so it actually requires us to even hire social media personality to handle the social media handles, because you can't be the one tailoring and then purchasing the materials and then going to post on all the social media platforms. So it is someone we have supposed to hire, and then so that we can have presence on all the social media platforms. If you have intention on working online, then I think that is the way to go. Yeah, so about the solutions, as entrepreneurs, first of all, for all the entrepreneurs, we should put policies and then follow them. So it's not just a matter of putting them and you leave them there. You have to have your policies, your delivery policies, your payment policies, and make sure you follow your policies so that people don't bleach them. Because in a way, if you are lenient to one client, she will go and tell the other client, that one will give you, even if you've not paid her. So I think we have to be true to our policies. Then another thing, we have to continue to build our reach. If you continue to seek your reach, build your presence online, you could get to a moment where you have your brand, let me say, built. So in a way, clients will come knowing what to expect, and maybe you will not have so many challenges with clients. Yes. The other problems like high taxes on the materials, basically, it goes back to our government. If it finds a way on how to reduce the taxes on the fabrics, then maybe it can help us to also
Melda?
Get cheaper materials. In a way, it will be helping people because the price is moved down to the final consumer. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We are almost approaching the final, the top of the hour of our discussion tonight. But as we reach that final end, I'd like to engage with you, Sir Enoch. Sir Enoch, right now I want us to talk about long-term strategies. And yeah, I want us to talk about long strategies. We have talked about the challenges. We have talked about what needs to be done. Now let's talk about what lessons can we draw. What lessons can businesses learn from the current economic crisis? What lessons can your real estate business and other real estate business learn from this current economic crisis that people are facing to possibly scale the business to a level that is quite high and quite good?
All right, thank you very much. Quickly, I would say, number one, let's not look for jobs, let's look for work. Let's everyone look for work. In this business, if you know that you're doing it as a job, the job will end. But if you're doing it as work, let me tell you, we are going to prevail. Because for work, it's when you've reached that point of discovering who you are and you know what you are supposed to do in business. But if you know that you're just looking at it as a job, it will reach a certain point. You will say, "I'm no longer even a boss now. I'm just being employed." It's going to become so hard in this crisis. Do it as work, as God called. If you know that you're in line and you feel you're doing it with passion and you're doing it with that love, you are good to go in this crisis. The business won't let you down. You will hold it strong. Number two, let's build character. Let's build character. Character is number one. What are the missions for your business? For us in real estate, we are the authentic real estate partner. We want to work with people, but beyond all, we just want to be authentic. Because we know there are other estates there. People have other business in land, but for us, we are the authentic real estate partner. So whatever we do, we want to be authentic. We want to be on Mazima, H2 the truth. We want to stand on it. We want to sell you, won't sell you a plot, and then the next day you again come back to office and say, you know what, the plot you sold, Manya has this issue and the other issue. Let's build character. Let's build character, people. You know, the problem is in Uganda here, we start good, we start well, and then at the end of the day, we realize, hey, Banan, you know what? If I bribed this person, this would work. If I started cheating this one would work. And when we get to that line, that's how we lose our business. To make sure your business, if you want to sustain your business to another level, build a character, and let everyone know that, you know what, if you reached Imleda to do your design, she will do it. She will do it with passion, with love, and she will deliver in time. Those are the things that we have to work on. And maybe the other thing I wanted to say is that let's follow the policy. You know, our government policy is very hard to see policy reforms in Uganda, even if there is what. For instance, you know what happened during COVID? The only thing that we got was posho and beans. And even those things were for those who they looked at and said, I think this person is really struggling. Let's give them posho and rice and beans. There's nothing like, you know what, let's touch a little in our policy and see how we can reduce maybe on tax, how we can reduce on this. It was really very hard. So let's follow the policy. I know that it's very hard for it to change. Let's be there and know that we have to work hard. And lastly, as others have shared, let's storm social media. If you know every single day you don't post anything about your business on social media, I am giving you few days to get out of it. You will run out of that business. Storm social media, all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, even Facebook, you connect to the other VPN and be there by force. Be there by force, but make sure you are visible everywhere so that they can know your business, they can know what you are doing. Get people with common faces, work with them, do clips, do videos, post them on social media. You'll see your business working through. That's what I can say for now.
Thank you. You offer for us very interesting long-term strategies and solutions to the challenges that we're facing, and we really appreciate. For people doing real estate, for people doing business, Mr. Enoch says you have to be people of integrity, you have to build character in your business, and you'll see it scaling up. We should be in position, if I want to buy a plot of land, I trust Enoch to deliver for me without any sort of encumbrance. If I want to buy let me say material for my wedding dress or wedding suit or whatever, I know that if I talk to Imleda, I'll definitely have it done. If I want to get a good accommodation for a few days to have a conference, I know if I talk to Ritah, I'll have it done. So definitely, yes, integrity, very important in our business. Thank you very much, Enoch. Let's have Ritah. Ritah, we're talking about long-term strategies, long-term strategies. What lessons can we draw from, what lessons can the hotel sector draw from the current economic crisis, and possibly if you want, if there are any other, if possibly you could also suggest for any government intervention. Ritah.
Thank you so much, Drake.
Okay, as Ritah is getting a place with good network, let me get to Imleda. Imleda, fashion. Talking about fashion, COVID presented us with a number of challenges, but also it presented us with endless possibilities that you can go ahead and do your business online. Now let's talk about long-term strategies in the fashion industry. What lessons can we draw from the current economic crisis to scale our fashion businesses? If you're there, kindly unmute and tell us how best we can implement these long-term strategies or in our fashion businesses.
Yes, thank you. The number one long strategy, I think, for example, our sector, is making sure we put other people on board to join the business. If we brought more people on board to join the business, train more people, and train them on how to do everything, the social media, the real actual tailoring, I think it will help us to, first of all, help with the solution of the unemployed. Then it will also help us to have a bigger picture for our businesses so that it's not centered on one person. Yeah, I think that is a long-term strategy we can think of. Yeah, then another thing is we have to make sure we build our branding, our logos. It is not easy back here in the fashion sector to raise income for all that, but as a long term, you can look at it to build your brand, the branding, the packaging. I think if your brand is out there, it's known through for the packaging, through the logos, through everything. I think the bigger the presence of how you've branded the whole package for any business, by the way, not fashion, it can help you sort every problem. I can give you an example. For example, Jessa, let me say it's one of the biggest companies in the country. Everyone knows Jessa just by how it looks, how it has branded itself, the adverts. So I think every business should think of as a long-term strategy, should think of branding as a strategy to keep them in business so that they are known everywhere. Yes, and another thing, like I could say, like the gentleman from Amka said, we have to be people of integrity. You have to make sure that you deliver when you ask to deliver, so that at least people trust our brands. Yes, if you gain people's trust, that is a strategy that can take you all through your business. People will have reality for your brand and it will help you grow. Yes, then maybe another solution could be always getting together with other entrepreneurs, like for example, like on this forum, always joining meetings, talking with other entrepreneurs. In that way, we can maybe source funding, maybe from the government, maybe from non-government organizations. If you are a team, it could help you build better business than doing it alone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Imleda. You talk about building a brand, and when you build this brand, it's to be one that will gain trust from the consumers of our products, which is also very important. But we also highlight the aspect of networking, that people are supposed to, if you're into business, you should go ahead and network, engage in things, go for social gatherings, network, tell people about your business, which is very key and very important in this modern day and age. Thank you very much, Imleda. Ritah, possibly right now, I believe your network is okay. Unmute and then tell us long-term strategies in the hotel industry.
So long-term strategies, I think the hotel industry is basically quite tricky. Okay, interesting. I would build on some of the points my colleagues, the late gentleman from Amka has given, and online, it gives you effects all along. So remember, I saw something here, I can go back and follow up. You get that is online. And secondly, it is building your brand that is having a standard that irrespective of this is the kind of quality of food I provide. This is the quality of service that I'm supposed to give. Everyone is supposed to be smiling while serving the guests. That is a brand, like that is a standard that you have, that you know this, nothing has to change. You get that is.
We have come to
that someone will say this is reservation. When look incentives, the government is basically build incentives for exfoliates, maybe sorry about that. Can you now hear me?
Yeah, we can now hear you.
Yeah, as I was saying, the other aspect, part of the question you asked is what the government can do to intervene is tax incentives. The tax incentives government concentrates on are the incentives they give to exfoliates. These are investors, other countries. They come and they want to invest in the country. Say those ones invest in the oil sector, but it ignores that the fact that there are other Ugandans in the country who actually want to invest in a business. You get, so they can give tax incentives. That is the way of intervention, and also rule out that, as I said earlier, rule out the aspect of not having physical meetings. There are some issues they might need to discuss that needs physical appearance. There are people maybe who have looked at going to office in a while and they're relying on Zoom. You get, so that is something that we do to boost our business, say in the conferencing side. Yes, that is what I can say for now. Thank you so much, Drake.
All right, Ritah, just before you go, kindly give us your parting shots as we are about to conclude our conversation. Tell us your parting shots, maybe way forward, and what we think we can do, or what the hotel industry can do in just a minute or so.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. What I'll say again, the hotel industry can really build on is the online marketing. Hotels have websites, but they don't have that constant, like online, maybe on like other businesses do, maybe like on, they have Facebook, but it's not that active. Maybe on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, you can do clips of functions that happen at the hotel. That is something hotels can really build on. It is a good aspect. It gives good output, that one. And thank you so much for having me be part of this. I am really grateful. I've had a good time. I have learned a lot. I'm so grateful. Once again, I'm Ritah Amuge, Nowel. I work as marketing and reservation at City Royal Resort Hotel. City Royal is located in Bugolobi, opposite Shell. Yeah, we offer conference services and accommodation services. We have a swimming pool. Check us out on our website. Yeah, and we're there. You'll find us there. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ritah. Possibly one time I'll pass by and check the place out. Thank you. Let's have Imleda, then the gentleman will close. Imleda, kindly unmute, turn on your camera and tell the viewers your parting shots and what the fashion industry should do for someone who is in fashion industry. What can they do?
Yes, thank you. To stay online in the fashion industry, okay, to stay training, or maybe to stay running in the fashion industry, number one, you have to keep on the trainings. You have to equip yourself with constant trainings to get new knowledge and techniques about the tailoring sector. You also have to make sure you build a good online presence. You have to always make sure you are updating all your social media accounts. If possible, you can even open a website for your brand to be out there. Then you brand your outfits, then you brand your business, then you put policies so that you are able to avoid defaulting clients, you're able to avoid any form of inconvenience while you're doing business. You have to put policies. Yes, then another thing, you have to put people on board. You have to employ other people. If you're in the fashion sector, you can't do everything yourself. You can put other people on board, for example, to manage your social media. You can hire other seamstresses. Many people have graduated out of the fashion schools. So you put other people on board to help you so that you can actually increase your production. Yes. Yes, I could say those are the main points that can help us move forward. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. My name is Imleda. Yes, I do
Imleda,
I do tailoring. I also didn't mention furnish.
Oh, we have lost Imleda. All right. Let's have Sir Enoch give us his parting shots and we conclude tonight's discussion. Sir Enoch.
I've changed my cape to say bye-bye in style. I just want to encourage everyone outside there to invest in land. Land is the best way to go. You know, when you have land, you can actually improve your business, because if you go to the bank, they can give you a bigger loan. If you have land, you can build your small room there and start your business. If you have land, you can do anything with it. It doesn't depreciate. It will give you money at any point. So whatever you do, make sure you have land. And meanwhile, even at the end of this life, you will need land, because you know what? We'll get back to the soil where we came from, as the Bible says. Please make sure you invest in land. And also, if you want to bring life at your party, I'm here to support you. I'm a very good MC, and I'm here in Kampala now to go for a reception, but I'll go back to Mbara to our offices where Amka International Real Estate, we are based. And I want to say thank you, listeners. Thank you for this opportunity to get online to speak to different people in different places. We're looking forward to be invited again and come here and share our ideas. But we know our business will stabilize as life goes on. God is in control, and we know He has called us to do this. And at the end of the day, we are going to be richer and richer in Jesus' name. I'm called Sir Enoch. Find me on all socials, and even Amka International is on all socials. You can find us there, and we continue the discussion and talk about investment and business. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really enjoyed tonight's conversation. Thank you very much, Sir Enoch. Thank you very much, Miss Imleda and Miss Ritah. It has been a very wonderful deliberation having you on board. And I would say you guys did justice to tonight's topic. You put it into perspective from all your various angles, from the real estate business to hoteling, and then conclusively fashion. Perfect, wonderful submissions. And it has been the community show, and my name is Douglas Onen. I am your host today. Tonight we are discussing doing business amidst the economic crisis in Uganda. And I was joined by Sir Enoch, Miss Imleda, and Ritah. We hope demystify this particular topic. Otherwise, subscribe to our channel and continue watching. We'll come back again with another episode of the community show next week. Otherwise, it's a good afternoon for me. Cheers. Take care.